Hey, this is our last and our final video for the Steak and Beans contest, and I'm going to tell you, I am pumped up about how the contest ended. It was incredible. But before I get into that, what I want to do is I want to talk to you a little bit about what I learned from this contest. And some of the things I learned from this contest is, one, that we have about 190 dealers out there. The goal is by the end of 2017 to where we have 400 dealers. So one of the major things is dealer acquisition. What we need to be doing every day is we need to be working on dealer acquisition. Because what I figured out from this contest is the people with the biggest distribution network are the ones that had the easiest time winning the contest, or not necessarily winning the contest, but getting a bunch of skid steer orders and actually growing their business. Because at the end of the day, I want you to think about this. If you didn't win the contest, but you got an extra skid steer orders because of the contest, who won? You're right, you did, because you got paid on that. So what I also figured out was the contest added a little bit of accountability to what we do on a daily basis. You know, being able to look at the contest scores, being able to take in every week knowing where somebody was at, where you were at, made a lot of sense. So I talked a bunch with Tim, I talked a bunch with Jason, and what we're going to do is we're going to put together an accountability program. Just like we had before I started, but this one's going to be a little bit more intense. It's going to be centered around actual owner meetings where you sit down and meet with the owners. Will you have to make a bunch of cold calls to get in to see with the owners? Yep, you'll have to do that. Will you take and go through and see some people that you don't want? Yeah, you'll have to do that. But what I'm telling you is that next time we do a contest like that, if you've built your distribution network out, you're going to take and see better results. Because I can see the results that people got were from having a good distribution network or getting a dealer to buy into distribution. So what I think that the idea of performance measured is performance gained, and you'll see a little bit more as we roll out this accountability system. It's going to center around doing three dealer meetings in a monthly basis. And could it be 3 in 1 week? It could be 3 in 1 week. Could it be 3/4 of one a week? It could be that. Whatever you want to do, however you want to do it, that's not our job to tell you how to do your job, but it is something to help you get better, and that's what we're here to do. So let's look at the results of the contest and let's figure out where everybody finished. Individually wasn't necessarily the team, but individually, let's look at some outstanding things. Our number one guy with 47 skid steer orders, Brad Block. Incredible, hardworking. It shows you hard work pays off. It also shows you that Brad Block has the best built out dealer network. So because Brad has the best built out dealer network, I wouldn't say it was easy for him, but he definitely did well with 47 units. Number 2 was a rookie. Our newest guy, MJ, 33 units. So what that tells me is no matter where you're at in this process, if you're brand new, if you're really old, whatever happens, you can take it and make things happen. Brand new guy, 33, number 2. Number 3, Les Copeman. Number 30 units. Les Copeman put out 30 units. How did Les Copeman put out 30 units? Les Copeman works harder than most folks. And I'll tell you the other thing about Les is he's got a distribution system that's pretty well built out. He's worked on that. He's got it to where these guys know what they're doing and they're going to do what they have to do. Number 4, 28. Okay? Now there's a big thing in there. 28, Tim Schwab. Tim Schwab, same deal. He's got a very well built dealer network. He's got some holes to fill, but in the course of that, he was able to put 28 skid steers out there on the street. Now, here's something that's interesting. Number 5, Barney. How did Barney become number 5 with 24? He found a dealer that had a bunch of locations, and guess what? Not only did he fill out his skid steer network and make it so that he doesn't have a whole lot of areas to fill still, what he did was got 24 heads out on the street. Bubba, number 6 with 21. And I know this is probably killing Bubba because Bubba's somebody that's a little bit more competitive than this, and to see Bubba finish in the bottom half, I won't even talk about that. Anyway, number 7 is TJ with 15. 15 is a decent number. But what I think if TJ would have had a better built out distribution network, he could have been right up there with Brad. He could have been right up there with, MJ. He could have been right up there with Les. I don't think there was any big difference in there. I just think that it's just a lack of a distribution network. I think at number 8, Don Cottage with 12. Don knows that he's got holes in his system, and that's what he's working on. So, he did great with 12, but he could have done much better if we'd have had a few more dealers in place. Fred, 5. Single digits, Fred got 5. It was a result of doing a dealer training day out in Ohio. So I think that that's something that we could capitalize on too. Use Neil, use the team. And Rico, I ain't even going to say anything. But let's look at the final results. If you added them all up, and if you were going through there with your calculator and you punched in all the numbers on your calculator, what you would have figured out is you'd have figured out Team Brad, 108 units. 108 units for Team Brad. But if you'd have figured out the calculator and you'd have figured out Team Bubba, what you'd have figured out is that we're going to be seeing a lot of the Team Brad hats because they finished with 109. One unit separated the team that won from the team that didn't win. Go figure. I don't know how that happens, but I do know that we need to focus on new locations. We need to focus on dealer meetings. We need to just take and look at the activity. If I want this result, I got to do this and this and this as activity. So let's get out there and let's do some dealer meetings. See ya.